everybody, Lisa Romano here, the Breakthrough Life Coach, and today I'm going to teach you all about why it is brave to love the self. Many of us who don't know how to love the self don't recognize that anytime we self-care or we act in the name of self-love, that this is actually a huge act of bravery. And today I'm going to prove to you why loving yourself is actually one of the most bravest things you could do. It is brave to love yourself because if you come from the type of background where you never felt loved and you are learning to give yourself something that you never had, that is a huge act of bravery. If you've come from an alcoholic home or a narcissistic home, or if you've been pushed around in the foster care system, if you've experienced some type of abuse in your background or childhood emotional neglect, and today you are acting on learning to love yourself, you're actually learning to love yourself, this is absolutely an act of bravery. You're saying to the world, in spite of me never feeling loved, in spite of me never feeling worthy of love, today I'm going to love myself. And yes, that is an act of bravery. In spite of possibly spending decades feeling unworthy, today I'm going to self-care. Remember, self-care is self-love in action. And even though in spite of possibly feeling for decades that I was unworthy of love, today I'm going to self-care. Today I'm going to act on loving myself in spite of never feeling loved. Yes, that is brave. It's brave because most people are waiting for someone else to make them feel worthy of love. Most people don't even realize that they're waiting for permission from the outside to love the self or to feel worthy of the self. So if you are somebody who is going out there in the world and you're learning to take care of yourself and love yourself, yes, this is an act of bravery. You aren't somebody who is waiting for someone to rescue you anymore. You aren't someone who is waiting for the knight on the white horse to show up, or you are no longer the type of person who is looking for other people to fix and to take care of and to work out this rescuer dynamic with. No, you are learning to say, I am enough to self-care and I'm not waiting for someone else outside of me to give me permission to do that or to make me feel like because someone else loves me, then I must be worthy. No, I'm learning to love myself because I am enough. You are saying to the world and to your inner self, enough, no more waiting. No more waiting for this person or that person to love me enough. No more waiting for the right circumstance. No more waiting till I weigh enough to think I'm enough. No more waiting till my hair grows a certain length to feel enough. No more waiting to feel better before I can take care of myself or love myself. No more waiting for anyone outside of me to give me permission to say, yes, Lisa, you are worthy and you have the right to take care of yourself. If you're that person, if you're saying no more, enough waiting, and you're learning to love yourself, yes, that is an act of bravery. It is brave to love the self and to self-care because most people worry about what other people think about them. Think about it. When you say you love yourself, what you are implying, you might not realize it, but what you're implying is, I accept myself. I accept my flaws. I accept that when I was below the veil of consciousness, I said and I did things that I wish I didn't do, that I would have never done if I was highly aware or I had a healthier sense of self. I did things I wasn't proud of. I said things I wasn't proud of, right? I have that. Absolutely. I have that in my head. But when you learn to love yourself, you are embracing those aspects of you, those lower personality aspects of you. They're not your true self anyway. Those were things that you went through as part of your evolutionary journey as a soul here on planet Earth, right? So when you are learning to love yourself and you're learning to accept yourself, you're learning to accept your flaws. In spite of what other people might think about your flaws, you're learning that the person whose opinion matters the most has always been yours. It is like you were saying to yourself, I see you. I know that you've made mistakes. I know that you've bumped up against walls. I know that you've said and you've done things and you've felt things that you're not that proud of. And I love you anyway. Yes, loving yourself in spite of all of the things that you know about yourself that you wish no one would ever know or you hope no one else finds out about. You are the person who knows your deepest, darkest secrets. If you are somebody who is learning to love yourself, that means you're embracing the shadow self. And yes, that is an act of absolute bravery. It is brave to learn to love the self because most people, whether they're aware of it or not, are living in a state of reactivity to what is happening in the ego world, or they're living in reactivity to what is happening outside of them and how other people treat them, waiting for permission, like I said earlier. But there's this sense that when we are not loving ourselves, we are in a state of attachment to the outer world. And so if you are learning to address that, yes, that's an act of bravery. When you love the self, you're learning to care less about what's happening outside of you. You're shushing the outside. You're reducing mental chatter. You're turning to the God self within. You are learning to find inner peace. What other people say is no longer bothering you that much. You know that is not what your true power lies anyway, because you're learning to love the self. You're learning to see value in the self. You're not begging people to hang out with you anymore. You're not, it is brave to love the self because when you love the self, you're letting go of these egoic attachments. You're saying, I am enough. And this goes against what most people want to do. Most people want to cling. They don't realize it, but they're clinging to whatever's happening at work. They cling to what their mother said or what their sister said. They cling to what's happening in politics, or they cling to something outside of them that their ego attaches to and that makes them feel alive, because the ego is tied to survival. And so when you're learning to love the self and you begin to let go of what other people think about you, then you are living a brave life because you're learning to care more about what you think about you. You're going against the grain, and that is brave. It's like you're saying to the world, yes, I used to cling. Yes, I used to worry. Yes, I used to react. Yes, I used to try to manipulate. Yes, I used to try to control. Yes, I fell apart when people didn't agree with me. Yes, 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 but no more. I know that I am enough, and I know that I must seek my own validation. And yes, you letting go of other people's validation, you letting go of accepting when people don't validate you, that is absolutely brave. Many of us have been taught that if you take care of yourself, you're selfish. If you put yourself first, you're selfish. I know that I came from that lineage for sure. And I watched my mother neglect herself my entire life. And what did I do when I got older? I neglected myself. What did I do every time I bought myself a $15 blouse? I felt guilty. What did I do when I needed deodorant? I waited until there was no deodorant left, hardly any deodorant left, and I was scraping my armpits with the cap because I didn't feel like I had a right to go out and buy deodorant until I absolutely had zero deodorant left. Literally, that's how I grew up. And so learning to love myself, yes, that was brave. Coming from the type of background that I came from where you are not enough, who do you think you are? Who do you think you are for wanting that? Who do you think you are for saying that? Who do you think you are, right? I grew up with that. And so I learned to be small and loving myself, even though that is the key to everything. Love is the key to everything. No, I didn't feel comfortable loving myself. In fact, it felt completely uncomfortable to learn to love myself, but I forced myself to do it. And yes, it was brave for someone like me to learn to love herself. Many of us have not been taught, literally, we have been brainwashed and conditioned to feel like we don't have rights like everybody else. Right. I know that I used to look up to people like, well, just think about people, in high positions, whether it's a pop star or, a television talk show host or whatever. It's just this idea that there was this hierarchy, that there were the haves and the have nots. And I was a have not. I have not. I was a have not, have not, have not. I was not allowed to have this. I was not allowed to think that. I was not allowed to have this experience or that experience. And this was an undercurrent in my life. And I never even realized it until I started doing my work through codependency and recovering from CPTSD and narcissistic abuse. It was like, oh my God, the heavens opened and I began to understand what was wrong. And so when you come from a traumatic background, or even you may not even realize that you may have been conditioned to not even feel worthy of taking care of the self. People who take care of themselves naturally, they have this innate sense of value, an innate sense of worth that people like me and maybe like you didn't have. And even though that's not our fault, if we don't address it, we can't fix it. So oftentimes I coach people, and even myself, I have felt in my life where I was an extension of someone else. I was put on this earth to carry the shoes, or I was put on this earth to put the toothpaste on the toothbrush. I was an extension. I wasn't meant to be out there in front of my life. I wasn't meant to have a dream manifest through me. That was for the other people. Those were for the haves. And then, so yes, so when you're learning to love yourself and you're seeing those things so clearly and you are gaining some momentum on the inside, it's like the choo-choo train going up the hill. I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. That was my life. It was little shifts, incremental shifts over a long period of time through commitment and through dedication and through knowing that I did have intrinsic value. I do have value because I am here. I am as valid as a star in the sky, as you are. I am an extension of divinity, as you are. And when that hit me, when I realized that I am as important as anything and anyone, and that in the eyes of Source or God, would call him Snuffleupagus for all I care, or call him or her it, I don't care. Source! But in the eyes of Source, I was just as valid as anybody else. That definitely helped me shift the way I saw myself in terms of value. When we are learning to put ourselves first, it's like we're saying to our inner self and to the world, look, I know that I have lived my life feeling like an extension. I have not accepted my divine God-given power, and I have played it small, and I have lived in fear, and I have given permission over myself to other people, but no more. I'm not going to believe in conditioning anymore. I'm not going to believe what people say about me being a woman. I'm not going to believe what people say about me being a man. I'm not going to believe what people say about my heritage or whatever. I'm going to be myself. I'm going to create my own program. I'm going to interface with the matrix based on what I want to believe about me, because that's my God-given right as a creator incarnate. That's right. And it's your right too. I'm going to start listening to my own self, designing my own blueprint. I'm going to start living out loud in my life, and I'm going to love myself and take care of myself because that is my God-given right. You bet your butt that's brave. So self-care and self-love can be very triggering, because what we are doing is we are pulling away from the outer world. And that can trigger all sorts of abandonment trauma, attachment trauma, and even threaten our sense of survival. Humans are born to connect. And so when we start retreating into the self, it can trigger our physical, very innate need that's tied to the root chakra for survival, because we're born to feel connected to other people. We want to experience bonding with others. When we start loving the self and saying, I'm not looking to the outside world for my sustenance anymore, I'm not looking to the outside world to fulfill me anymore, it can trigger all sorts of clingy, codependent, reactive behavior in us, and it's something to be aware of. When we stop waiting for other people to give us permission to feel good enough or to be good enough or to be ourselves and to step out front, when we stop waiting for someone to say, yes, you have a right to follow a dream, we dive right into the belly of a human being's primal fear for the need to connect. Letting go of needing other people to take care of us or to validate us so that we can finally learn it's our responsibility to love the self. We let go of thinking there's a rescue boat coming. There's no rescue boat coming. When we let go and we stop worrying about what other people think about us, right? It's like we're cutting this lifeline to the outer world, right? And we're saying, nope, I've got this. I'm going to learn to love myself. And it is extremely brave because there's no proof that you're going to be able to actually feel enough and feel connected. The only way to prove this to yourself and to prove what I'm saying happens is by experiencing it. If anybody would have told me 20, 25 years ago, Lisa, if you want to be happy, let go. Accept what people say about you. Let them smear you. Let them lie. Let them make up stories. Let them twist the story. Let your parents think what they want about you. Let people judge you. Stop fighting to get people to acknowledge you. Stop trying to fix other people. If somebody would have told me 20 or 25 years ago that the way to be happy and the way to inner peace was through the divine self, that it was through letting go, that it was detaching, that was key, that it was learning to feel my own feelings and to honor myself and to see myself. If somebody would have told me that 20 or 25 years ago, I might have panicked, because clinging and codependent behavior and acquiescing were the ways in which my brain, my dysfunctional brain, and as a result of my childhood programming, taught me was what I should be doing. And here I was learning to confront that and say, no, 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 that's exactly why you're going in the wrong direction. And my body knew it, right? All these bumps in the road, all this resistance, all these bad relationships, all these bumps on my body and hives and migraines and asthma and oh my, lions and tigers and bears, oh my. All of this stuff that was showing up was just evidence I was going in the wrong direction. But I didn't know how to go any other way. So learning to love yourself in spite of childhood programming that teaches you to cling and teaches you that you're not enough. Yes, dear one, that is very, very brave. If you are learning to love the self, especially if you have never felt loved, especially if you have never felt connected to another human being, if you are letting go and you are accepting that it's not your place to get people to love you or to convince people that you love them or that they love you, if you're letting that go, dear one, I want you to know that is an extremely, extremely brave act. You don't need permission from anybody else out there to put yourself first, even though you might feel like you do. I hope this video has helped you understand that you don't. The universe is waiting for your command. The universe is waiting for you to awaken. The universe is waiting for you to realize that within you, you have always been enough, and it was only faulty childhood programming or faulty programming, negative core beliefs, that had you going in the wrong direction on your search for true love. You are the love you seek. My name is Lisa Romano. I'm the Breakthrough Life Coach and the creator of the 12-week Breakthrough Coaching Program that's helping people heal from codependency and narcissistic abuse. That really helps them unplug from the old and plug into something new so that they can create abundance and love and attract inner peace into their life. It's absolutely amazing. I'm also a meditation teacher on Insight Timer and a best-selling author. And if you'd like to know more about me and my membership site, you can check out my website at www.lisaaromano.com. And if you click any of the links below, you can actually listen to one of my books for free on audible.com. Namaste, everybody. Bye for now.